Hello, everyone. Welcome to another roleplay one-shot. It's time for roleplay Sphynx and Satyr. I keep saying Sphynx and Spectre for like probably the entire past week. So thanks, Random Tuesday, for just picking the one name that I could just completely fuck up every single time. It's your fault.
So welcome. It's all right. Someone pointed out to me that if you abbreviate Sphynx and Satyr because of the order I put them in, it looks like sphincter.
Yeah, no, I've said that. I've had to stop myself too. Yeah.
Don't tell me that now.
Oh. Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna think of that.
Well, you guys don't have to say the show name. It's great. Yeah. I'm the one that's gonna say Sphynx and Sphincter or something when we do the outro. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
So we've got some familiar faces and some new to roleplay here. We'll go around and kind of introduce everyone. DistractedElf and bluejay, we'll start with you guys. You've been on a one-shot before, but I guess a quick rundown just of who you are for those that don't know. We'll start with bluejay first.
Well, I'm bluejay, and I play video games and roleplay and read books on stream. You can find me at my channel, twitch.tv/bluejay, or on Roll20 with Elf and Adam all the time. Or, yeah, it's great.
And then, do you like what? Sorry, I cut you off.
I like Overwatch a lot, so I play that a lot.
Oh, you're one of those people. Okay.
I am one of those people.
Okay.
Wow, the
all right.
judgment.
Let's move on quickly then. DistractedElf, you want to give a quick rundown of who you are, what you do?
Hey, I'm DistractedElf. Like bluejay said, I'm on the Roll20 role-playing games on Thursdays and Fridays, and I play video games and tabletop stuff. Twitch partner. That's it.
Boom.
There you go.
Nailed it. Short. I like it. And then our two new faces on the show. We'll start with the players first, and then we'll finish off with our new DM. Trottimus, how's it going? I think we met.
Hello.
Was that
Not bad.
PAX South a year ago or 2 years ago? Something like that?
It was the last PAX of the year. So
Everyone was real fucked up at that party. I remember that. It was at the Dave and Buster's.
I don't remember it.
It was at Dave and Buster's in downtown San Antonio.
yeah.
I remember that now.
Oh man, that was a good arcade. I like that.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
I'm Chris Trottimus, part of Hat Films. I do the YouTubes. I make a video now and again, and I also do D&D on Sundays for high rollers at 5 p.m. That's English time, so I don't know what that would be. Your time later, no earlier.
It'd probably
Like
be like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m.
11.
Yeah.
11 to 10, depending on which coast or central,
Yeah.
depending. But yeah, I do lots of stuff, and now I'm doing this. I'm very excited. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for. I don't know why it took you a year, or took me a year to contact you to come on roleplay, but here we are.
Well, I've been spamming your DMs.
I know.
JP. You keep saying no, so I'm kind of offended.
I apologize about that.
Yeah,
We're
you should
here.
be.
You're here. It's all good.
I'm here.
Let's just move on, Chris. We're fine.
Yeah.
Also, people got weirded out when I called you Chris for some reason. Do people just not call you Chris at all? Do they call you Trot?
I don't have a first name. It's just Trot. Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to call you Chris from now on then, just to trigger people. That'd be great. And then our DM. Yeah. Our DM for today is Random Tuesday. Random Tuesday, you want to tell people about yourself a little bit? I also spelled your name wrong. I'll fix that. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I spell my name wrong all the time because I'm bad at spelling. But
Me
beyond
too.
that, I'm also a cosplayer, a Twitch streamer. You can find me on various places on the internet. I like making costumes. That's mostly what I do with my free time, as well as jamming various RPGs on Twitch. I did a Shadowrun campaign for a while, and I'm going to be starting a space opera-themed show coming up in September on another channel called Geek Space TV.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun.
Awesome. I guess have you guys anything? Did anyone go outside and look at the eclipse? We usually kind of start out role play shows and just talk about shit. I slept through the eclipse. I didn't give a shit.
Oh no, JP, how?
I streamed directly through it. I just sat here and played video games while it happened
The
outside.
disrespect.
Yeah. The sun? Who cares?
Yeah,
No,
I
no, it
mean,
wasn't the sun. It was the moon that was stealing the attention. And you were
Whatever,
just like,
okay?
get fucked, moon.
Look.
I was
Alright.
asleep. Who cares?
I had the sun coming right through my bedroom windows, so I stayed in bed, got a little thing, and just like was like, yes, that's an eclipse, and yeah, it was great.
You guys are so lucky. We had like an overcast day, and the sun's like tiny in the sky. Couldn't even see it. Had to go on
All
the
right,
NASA
you guys
Twitch.
had one back in like '99.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Did you go out
Yeah, no,
at Lauren at all?
I stepped outside of my house.
Oh God, you're one of
and
those people.
Yeah, I know. I know, it's terrifying. My roommate had acquired glasses. Like, she was like, I've got glasses! And so very enthusiastically, she ran inside, and we actually could look directly at the sun eclipsing. And then I kept being weirded out by how cold it was.
What are the glasses specifically? Like, why are they eclipse glasses? What do they do? Science
They're
me.
massively filtered, so it basically blocks all of the UV light so that it doesn't burn the back of your retinas, because if you look directly at the sun, especially during eclipse, your retinas will literally burn and be damaged, and then you'll be blind in the center of your eye.
I had
So don't look at the sun.
yeah, my brother's friend who has kids. This was the funniest thing to me. Maybe it's smart for a parent. I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I have no idea. They decided to keep their kids home because they weren't sure if the school could manage all the kids at school from not staring at the sun. So in order to keep their kids not blind, they kept them home from school that day and made them and made them the weird kids.
To not look at the sun. They're like, we don't trust you children to do this by yourself, so we're gonna like keep you in this room and watch you so you don't turn and look at the sun. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Yes, children are the worst. They would all stare at the sun.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess there's
I was
some validity
real glad
to
I
it,
didn't
but-
have to teach.
Yeah, I guess there's some validity to keep so they don't stare. I don't know. You're the European here,
Really
Chris.
obstinate.
Do you make fun of us for that? Is that an American stupidity thing, or does that make sense to you?
What, looking
you
at the
stand
sun?
for all of Europe
Yeah.
here. Would you keep your
Don't
kids
look at
home
the sun.
from school?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, we're just as dumb over here.
Okay,
So
all right. You're still
we're all
people.
the same.
You're not an elevated
Yeah,
people.
we're
over
still
there?
people.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe even dumber.
I mean,
So-
when thousands of people on the internet are telling you not to do something, the desire to do that thing gets really
Overwhelming.
high. Yeah.
I had
It's
to
like,
resist it. I was like, I want to do it. I want to look at the sun.
no.
Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe if I just do it for like a second, it'll be fine.
I think if you do it for a second, you just see like rays or something in your vision for a couple hours, up to like 36 or something. So it could be pretty bad even for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's something about the fact that the sun is eclipsing, your eyes, you don't like have the same reaction instinct. So you don't like blink and look away. You're like, oh, I can totally look at this. And
Yeah.
then destroy
And-
yourself.
Yeah.
Basically
Then you're
it's basically
blind.
Exactly that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
don't,
technically, reflection would be fine.
yeah. I don't know anyone that stared at the sun though yesterday, so that's good. Maybe I can't wait to hear reports of people
I
that
mean,
have
I
gone blind.
really hope you don't know anyone who stared at the
I
sun.
mean, what if
yesterday.
there's no one that actually stared at the sun because everyone told everyone not to stare at the sun, but
And
you
someone
really
in
don't
chat
go
is
blind.
Just like, I did it.
No, they'd be
I
blind
can't
if
see
they.
what I'm typing,
Yeah.
but I did it.
At least one photographic evidence of someone staring directly at the sun. So
Okay.
I've seen that.
All right.
yeah,
I've seen
Maybe
that on
so.
the internet.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
glossed over that one.
GG.
Yeah. And then in terms of what do you guys? Blue Jay said you're playing Overwatch. Are you excited about Junkertown that was announced
Oh my
yesterday?
god, yes. I'm so hyped.
Yeah?
I can't contain myself. That game is just like, I hate it and I love it, and it's just amazing. But Junkertown, it looks really good, but until I get on the map and I kind of see like what the flow of play is gonna be like on it, I can't know. But they did say, the queen did say no mercy, and for that, shakes fists.
Are you
I
a
really
mercy main?
hope. Of course I am. She's the cutest one. Hello.
Boring to play.
Maybe because you're bad.
Whoa.
Wow,
She's the
throw
DM. You
down.
can't be
Shots
rude to the
fired.
DM. All right.
And well, we're down
Blue
one
Jay's
character.
died.
Yeah. Jeez, you gotta wait till the show's over and your shout outs to throw shade, not in the very beginning.
No, I can't hold back.
Okay. All right. What is everyone else playing besides the Overwatches? Anyone super into anything right now?
JP, War of the Chosen, JP.
Well, you got a week. You got a week.
I know, but I so want to play it so much. I've been playing Long War like for the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
waiting.
I mean, Long War is a good way to prep for that game because they definitely
Yeah.
up the difficulty with all the DLC stuff for sure.
I'm ready.
It's kind of a nightmare to start off with, and then you get all the overpowered stuff, and so it's cool. Because like the way it works now in character progression for a lot of new classes, we're talking XCOM by the way for those that aren't aware. I don't think we said that. The way it works in character progression, you can go back and get every skill for every one of your soldiers, depending on what class
that's
they are.
awesome. Yeah.
And also at the bottom, there's like a third tier where they will just roll a random skill out of all the skills in the game.
It sounds a lot like the Advanced Warfare Center stuff in Long War. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably took some ideas from that.
So like you can get really overpowered stuff. Like I got I got Rampage, or no, I think it's called Rampage, on like a level 1 character or like a level 2 character. I got a bunch of Killzone perks on a bunch of like level 2 characters. Then I got to bring up Overwatch. I got the McCree ability on like a level 3 character that has unlimited pistol shots. So like as long as there's people on the map and he can see them, he's just gonna have unlimited pistols.
Hell yes.
It's gonna be good. So you can roll really overpowered shit.
I feel really bad about War of the Chosen because I got given the press thing, right? I guess you got that, right? So you can play it now.
Right.
I'm like, it's not my Steam account. So if I do all the game now, it's just going to get wiped when it comes out.
Yeah. That's kind of the thing that sucks. But
yeah. So
I think you can probably save. There's got to be a way to like manually pull the saves, unless you're worried about the achievements.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea, though, pulling the saves.
Yeah. I'm going to try to pull the saves. They do. It's better than in other, when press give you games early, they'll just delete it off your Steam account. They'll just you no longer can play Dark Souls at all.
Yeah.
It's gone from your Steam. You have to buy it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
that really sucks when you just wake up one day and try to, let's play the DLC today. And nope, Dark Souls is gone off your Steam account. You got to buy it again. You got to download it all over again. So that's like the biggest first world problem ever. But
yeah, right.
Yeah. Man, they gave us a free game and it's run out. That's bullshit. But yeah, it's good. DistractedElf. You'll have fun with it for sure.
I'm very, very psyched. Yeah.
Troll, what have you been playing these days?
I'm really into Path of Exile.
Yeah, I was for about a week. I dropped 100 hours in a week and then I quit.
You know what? It's actually your fault.
Really?
I started playing Path of Exile.
Tell me about it.
I saw you streaming it. I was like, oh, that looks so much like Diablo 2.
Yes.
And Diablo 3 kind of worked for me, kind of didn't. But Diablo 2 was like my bae. And Path of Exile really taps into that. Just the aesthetic, the sound effects, everything. It's so good. I love it.
So what type of character are you playing?
I'm playing the Hunter Ranger? I don't know the name of the class. The one that fires the bow.
Yeah, but what's your spec then, I guess? Because you can kind of spec into anything, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty low level, so I'm just going full Hunter path at the moment.
Okay.
I think I'm like level 30.
Okay, gotcha.
Like 3. So yeah. Not hardcore yet. Give me a break, right? I'm working on it.
I haven't started hard. I thought I was going to do it, and then other games started coming out. I'm just going to wait till next season. I got 2 characters to 80 and 1 character to 87.
Show off.
I mean, it's 100 hours in a week. Like, that's all I played. Just 9 day, waking up, playing Path of Exile.
God.
It was kind of... It was bad.
Thank God XCOM came along.
Yeah, now I just play XCOM all day. Yeah. It was kind of bad. I was pretty addicted to that game. But now I'm not. That's good. But it's free to play, so if you want to jump in, you can.
Yeah, it's really good.
When I was playing a lot of Diablo 3, people suggested Path of Exile, and I took one look at that map, and I was like, nope. I'm not going to put this much time into anything.
Yeah.
Big, yeah.
That map can be kind of a lot when you first see it.
Yeah.
For sure, for the skills.
Sensory overload.
It is. It really is. But then it's not after you kind of understand what you're doing. You basically just follow a guide and just put things where the guide tells you to go. You don't even have to think. It's not too bad. Lauren, what about you? What games have you been playing besides? I think you said you were playing a little bit of Overwatch.
Overwatch is like I have 30 minutes before I have to do anything. No, right now I've been playing a lot of Pyre, which is the game from Supergiant Games, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fangirl. I get a little obsessed with their games. It's also one of the ones that I'm cosplaying, and so that's gonna be for PAX. But yeah, it's a good game. I really enjoy it. It's very different in terms of how it plays. It's fantasy basketball, as people point out. It's like magic soccer combined with a RPG.
I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah,
it's a weird game
great
to talk about in that sense and describe to people.
It is so hard to pitch. You're like, so let me explain this game to you. But the game has no game over, which is the coolest part. Also terrifying because it makes everything really high stakes, because if you lose a match, you're like, well, shit. I don't know how this game's going to end now. So
I love the art style. That looks cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
That's what I
is
want.
The same art director that's been on all 3 of their games, and she's very, very
She's really good.
And I'm a character whose name rhymes with Gray, which my chat named Bay.
I think you have to choose that name. That's the character that you can choose the name of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what should I name her? And I didn't. No one said anything other than Bay. So that's what happened.
I think you just have to. If you're going to stream that game, you have to. But yeah, Chris, I want like, I saw a bunch of 4K shots of the game. I just want that framed, just different shots of the game, because the art is so good looking throughout Pyre. So I just want that postered up on my wall everywhere as much as possible.
Waiting for them to get all like, I'm like, what merch will you have at PAX? How much money can I throw at you, please?
Oh, that's right. They're gonna be at PAX. Maybe I can.
Oh shit! I'll have to check them out. Then.
Yeah, I gotta coerce someone to go, if they have like prints or anything, to go buy them so I can frame that.
I'm hoping they will. They don't have. I'm not gonna lie. I've checked their store online compulsively a few times. Do you have anything yet?
Yeah. Pyre for me, this will sound really shitty. It's just too much reading. There's so much reading in that game. Totally fair. Yeah, like just oodles of dialogue, just nonstop dialogue everywhere. And I think I'd rather, as I've kind of demonstrated, I'd rather just click things and see numbers go up and things like Path of Exile. So I don't know.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
I had that problem with the Banner Saga games. Like the game was so good, but there was just so much in between.
Yeah.
The problem I had with Banner Saga is everyone started starving, and then I was like, well, what do I do now?
Okay, well,
and I just stopped playing.
That sounds like a get good problem.
Hey.
Yeah.
So much shade before you even started.
Yeah.
So
like the solar eclipse up in here.
But before she dies, she's gonna kill Elf's character. It'll be fun.
Boom. Well, cool. I think with that, we can go ahead and get started. Lauren, if you want to take the reins and introduce the world to us.
Explain. I'll do a little bit of explaining how the system works too, because Warp is a fairly incredibly rules light, but also not particularly well known. The basic tenet of Warp is that when you build a character, you create 3 characteristics, which everyone did, and then you're going to be rolling d6s. So they'll be rolling between 2 and 4 d6s depending on how good they are at something. If it relates to one of their character traits, then they're rolling 3 or 4. If it doesn't, then you default to 2. I can also give them penalty dice or bonus dice, which means you roll 1 extra and either drop the lowest or drop the highest. And that's pretty much how you play it. That's like the absolute basics of it. Sometimes it'll be opposed rolls, and sometimes it'll be against a number that I'll determine. And sometimes I'll roll dice in chat or in roleplay, and sometimes I'll just roll dice loudly over here. So the world of Sphynx and Satyr it's essentially Earth. It's modern day. I decided for ease of simplicity, because 2 out of the 4 of us know about, or 5 of us, really good at math, guys, know about Seattle. We'll say it's modern day Seattle. There is, for average humans, there is no difference. You wouldn't necessarily know that there exists all of the mythological creatures that have ever been discussed or written about in their various capacities. So in this case, elves and vampires and fairies and demons and nagas and cyclopses are all creatures that exist in this world. And they kind of live on the peripheries and in the shadows, and often band together in their groups, in their courts, in their packs, whatever it happens to be. But in the case of Sphynx and Satyr, it is a supernatural services agency run by 2 individuals that employ a number of supernatural creatures to solve problems that could not otherwise be solved, either because they are magical in nature or sometimes just require an extra special touch in order for them to be solved appropriately. So our characters are all employed by Sphynx and Satyr in some capacity, either as contractors or perhaps long-term employees. That's up to them to decide. Thematically, it's probably similar to Dresden Files, Grimm, Fables, kind of those sorts of ideas. So if you're kind of in that mindset, you'll be in the right sort of place about what the world is sort of like. So the offices of Sphynx and Satyr is a fairly dilapidated building in the north end of Seattle. It's one of those old craftsman style homes. It clearly hasn't been upkept very well. It's got 3 stories. The attic windows are definitely boarded up, but people will periodically hear loud noises coming from there. But at this point, the neighbors have all decided to mostly ignore it. There's a small sign on the door that reads Sphynx and Satyr underneath supernatural services, but beyond that, there's nothing about it that would suggest it is anything beyond an old building that hasn't been particularly well taken care of. And everybody's kind of waiting for the city to reclaim it and post one of those big, like, white billboards saying they're preparing to tear it down. So our 4 characters, I assume they are all at the building for some various reason. Maybe they're on a break, maybe they're doing some research. Maybe take a moment to kind of introduce yourself and what would you be doing if you're not actively on some sort of job or mission. We can kind of go around. We could start with Hector Frost.
Hello. Yep, I'm Hector Frost. I'm a ghost detective. And by that I mean I don't detect ghosts. I'm actually kind of dead, but possessed in my own body. That's my thing. So when I was alive, I had a lot of skill as a detective. I was working for the supernatural, trying to, get rid of things like that. And I got in bad with a cult, a really bad cult, as is tradition. And it got really bad to the point where I was tortured and killed, but not fully killed. I was cursed to put my soul back into my dead body. So I've been struggling with this for years. I think it's been longer since, when we did our character creation. I think it's going to be longer that I've been dealing with this. And, occasionally I just lose control of my limbs. That happens, like Weekend at Bernie style. And yeah, I'm a bit of a London Cockney guy that's come to Seattle. He knows Seattle streets, so he's been working there for a long time, living and dead. And yeah, he's good at his job, but not as good as he was when he was alive.
It's hard when your limbs stop working.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, but his mind is still extremely sharp, shall we say. He's good at what he does. Just sometimes his jaw goes limp and he can't speak properly. At the moment, he's probably just outside the building, chowing down on some donuts. There's actually a donut place I know of in Seattle that's amazing.
Ooh, there's several. Which one do you want to pick?
It's the one that has the sign that was...
Donuts?
Yes.
Yes.
He's eating one of those.
Wait, what's significant about the sign that he said? It's the one with the sign, and you're like, aha!
Because the other donut place doesn't really have a sign.
Okay. All right.
Well, there's history about this sign. Apparently, it was brought, traveled miles to get where it was, and it lost a letter, and it became that instead.
I didn't know about.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know what letter they lost.
I don't know the full story, but either way, he's chowing down on a really topped up donut, like everything, caramel, sprinkles, all that stuff.
Actually, 2 donuts sandwiched together.
Yeah. He asked for the double decker, yeah. And he's just chowing down, licking his fingers, with all the glazing on it. He's just like, I hate this place.
So the building definitely has a front porch. It's you're probably on some old kind of broken chair that has one leg that's shorter than
creaking,
the other. It creaks. It's like a musty sort of moldy smell all of the time. There's like a spider that's just gonna drop down and just chill out on your shoulder.
If anything, I don't like this house because it's just a reminder of me. It's like it's a ramshackle building with things living in it. That's pretty much me.
All right, what about Lilith?
Well, Lilith is a demonic research assistant in employ of the Sphynx and Satyr group. When I say demonic research assistant, as Chris said, I don't mean demonic as in she knows about demons. She is a demon. She probably has been working for Sphynx and Satyr the longest of the group, I want to say. I'm just gonna posit that now. And 90% of her time is spent in this building. She's not often the one sent out to go and figure something out or whatever out in the field. She's very much like the the homebody with a stack of books and knows about the thing you bring back. That's the weird relic of whatever. I saw that misreference over here somewhere.
She's actually probably been to the attic. She's
maybe
actually on speaking terms with the creature in the attic.
Yes, maybe perhaps. But she has the ability to make binding deals with people with a shake of the hand and a few terms set. In that deal with the devil kind of a way. Sometimes she does it by accident. So, talking to her, careful what you say. Yeah.
Makes sense.
The warning for all of the players.
Right now she's probably sitting around in like the sort of the front area of the place. Like if there were sort of a shop front of this place, the like reception area.
Essentially, it's used to be a living room, but now it's a reception. But it's really just a living room.
Exactly. It's just a living room. Sitting behind that desk with a dusty bell on it and various odd knickknacks. With this huge tome open on the desk itself, leafing through and occasionally making sure her glasses are in the right place. That kind of thing. Just reading and keeping to herself there.
Nice.
Also, she's a coward. I'm sorry, I didn't mention
we
that.
haven't done physical descriptions as well. What appearance of demon do we have?
She's classically devilish, like crimson skin, horns, spaded tail, and her clothes are usually fairly well put together, if a little bit more robe-like than appropriate suit-like.
It's a bad robe.
Yeah, just like a very nice black robe and a pair of glasses with thick black frames.
What does Hector look like?
Hector looks like David Jason from A Touch of Frost. That's what he looks like.
Everyone knows that David Jason
Just
from
Google
A
it.
Touch of
Touch
Frost.
of Frost, totally.
It's the most
I know what that
noticeable
looks like.
person
The
to just
short,
ever
squat.
think of.
Throw a
Slightly
link
podgy
in
man.
chat, maybe.
Yeah, he's like a 55, 6-year-old man with like a really sweet ass grey beard and mustache. He's slightly podgy past it, but lovely guy.
Oh, okay.
Really?
This
Sorry, I
guy's
heard he's a 60-year-old man with a really sweet ass. Like, just
Sweet ass. I mean, he's got a pop and booty. For a 6-year-old man, he is working it.
okay. Yeah, I'll link this, I guess, or just tell people what to Google because you described him quite well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just Google David Touch of Frost and go to image search and you'll get him.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. We all have the visual.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what about Masana?
Masana is, first and foremost, she's a Naga, which means that she is half human female from the waist up and like giant snake creature from the waist down. She wears really long skirts to kind of conceal her more serpentine aspects. And she has really long black hair, and she speaks in a way that is obviously very, very practiced, because she has a forked tongue, and she tries to conceal a slight lisp. Because of that, it's like she's very, very careful to make sure that people don't notice that difference in her speech. I think that she's here because she just did a job. She's a private eye. She just did a job for Sphynx and Satyr that was very much like sneaking around and taking pictures. And she turned in the evidence that she had, but she didn't get paid as much as she wanted to. And so she's like barging out from some back office in a huff. And muttering under her breath, like really syllabic, kind of like slithery swears that aren't necessarily in English. That's why she's here.
Good. And lastly, Eris. Eris?
Yeah, Eris. Short. It's probably short for Aristotle, but no one. That's such a lame name that we're just gonna call him Aris.
Oh no, I want his full name to be Aristotle.
Maybe that's what his mom calls him when she's yelling at him or something like that. So
Aristotle, you get back in here.
exactly. So everyone calls him Eris. Eris is a Cyclops who's the smartest of his kind, allegedly. Very large, very tall, obviously, as a Cyclops. A quick learner, also very incredibly strong. But he's a little clumsy, has a little issue with depth perception, being that he only has one eye, so runs into things a lot. And being that he is so large, it even compounds that even more. So he runs into things a lot. And in terms of what he does for work, he is a bouncer. I think that this is probably like his first week or first month working for the services of Sphynx and Satyr. So we're kind of... He's easing his way in. I don't know who brought him in, though. Lilith, you said you were the one that's been here the longest. Who's?
Yeah, I serve. I feel like I serve a dual role of the smart research person and the front room organizer.
Okay.
So probably you threw me somehow.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you saw me at a club or something. Said like, hey, you could get better work or some crap.
Yeah,
like that.
there's always better work available for someone with your skills.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Lilith brought me in, and this is my first week, or first month, whichever. I'm new. Is the base.
You're the new
gist.
one.
Yeah.
Excellent. So. As you are all going about your daily business, I guess the Hector, being the one sitting on the front porch eating his double-decker donut, try saying that 10 times fast, will be the first person to see a client, or an individual at least, approach the door. He's sort of an middle-aged, kind of probably looks somewhere in his mid-40s. He's, dark, somewhat clean, or fairly clean-kept. He's wearing, a polo shirt and a pair of slacks. Like, nothing about him looks particularly suspicious, but he seems to kind of be looking around and like checking his phone and doing that thing where he's really uncertain that he's in the correct location, and then he sort of slowly approaches the porch, and it kind of looks at you and like looks at the door.
You lost, sunshine.
Oh, I'm looking for
a door to knock on. It's right there. Go for it.
He just sort of puts his phone away and kind of gives you a side glance. Asshole. Knocks on the door. He doesn't actually say that, but he probably thinks it. You're empathetic, so you probably would get this feeling of anger and frustration.
I get the vibe, yeah.
Yeah, you get the wash of emotion sort of channels over you. He knocks on the door. Inside, you'll hear the knock on the door, and as Manasa, sorry, I said Masana the first time.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Manasa. I guess I would probably be like, yeah.
She's you kind of like crossing the front in the path of the front door, and behind you is coming a fairly older looking woman. She's got a lot long hair, but it's all gray and silvery. She wears it sort of in a loose braid over her shoulder, and other than she's got a blouse on, but a full length skirt, like to the point that it's dragging on the floor, and you just hear the clip clop clip clop clip clop of what most people would assume is very high heels. But all of you would know her to be the satyr of Sphynx and Satyr. She's Theodora Holly, and she is one of the two managers of this organization. She's more the one who talks, and as she's kind of going out after you, and she's like, "Wait, we can continue to." And the door knocks, and she goes over and opens it. I'm sorry. Can I help you? And she gestures to the person inside, and she looks out on the porch at Hector.
You got another one. Enjoy.
Are you going to come in?
I'm just finishing my donut. Is that all right?
Well,
I'll be 2 minutes.
Fine. Okay, fine. She goes in and leads the gentleman down, who sits down, and she kind of motions over to both Lilith and Manasa, who are in there. And if Eris is in there too, maybe you're just kind of sitting in the corner, filling out your paperwork for starting your job.
Yeah, gotta get insurance.
Signing the timesheet.
Yeah.
It's you've got to fill out that I-9 and then the W-4.
Exactly.
Do you have documentation of your citizenship?
There's probably like some
our
demonic
chiefs-
forms too that I have to fill out just to make sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
That you sign in blood or
definitely.
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very familiar with the demonic contract law, you know.
Oh, you probably help them
fine.
with
Oh,
HR.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Uh,
So if she gestures over to me, I immediately kind of like lean this huge book down and mark it and stand up and sweep over.
Lilith, would you please take care of this gentleman? I have to tend to the request from Manasa.
And there's this glare from like up underneath like her hair is just like two like ropes of like straight black, and like there's this glare through it. Like, yeah, you do. No words, but just like, yeah.
Going to go discuss this. I'll get back.
Certainly, ma'am, I can deal with it. Not a problem.
Thank you. Clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. She clops away and like clops up the stairs. The man is just sort of sitting there in the room, and he's like, or standing there, I guess, at this point. He hasn't really.
Hello, sir?
How demonic do you look to people?
I mean, pretty much exactly how I described. Like,
Yeah.
she looks like a demon, you know?
Okay.
But she's like in a humanoid form, you know? It's nothing super obtrusive. Sir?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is there something that we here at Sphynx and Satyr can help you with?
Oh, God, I'm in the right place. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Should I not have said that?
I assume that you are in the right place, so factually accurate, certainly.
It's like missing the part where he uses the Lord's name.
What is there that I can do for you? I'm Lilith, by the way. I'll be handling your request, I suppose. She says as if she doesn't usually do this.
She does it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
She's the only one in the front
She's
row.
just a nervous person, you know?
And I think like at this point, like Manasa kind of like glides or slides or like just very smoothly. She doesn't walk. She like, I don't know, slithers over.
Like
And
on roller skates. Like that's
yeah, it's this kind of like soundless, but you can hear what sounds like really heavy skirts, but it's actually like her tail. And she like moves over to the gentleman and she's like, you wanted to bring your business here. And she looks around and she's like, maybe you should rethink that. Like she's really mad at whatever happened. And she kind of wants to like tempt him to like pay her instead of Sphynx and Satyr. So yeah.
Can I sit down?
Of course. Please take a seat. Gesturing towards this like really old leather couch, like a microsecond too late for it to be like a smooth, like kind of interruption. It's just really awkward and stilted.
Manasa's like sort of over his shoulder, kind of breathing down his neck.
Very like, hey, like that, like the snake in Jungle Book when it's like,
Oh yes.
like she's doing this like maybe we could do some business together, and she's just I don't think it's actually serious. I think that she's just kind of being a little shit.
The effect is that he is incredibly nervous, and he was already nervous. Like you can, I mean, you're a snake, and you can sense the sweat and the nerves, like the fear pheromones. They're just sort of sweating, like sloughing
She's
off.
trying not to like have her tongue like dart between her teeth, like to like taste it in the air. Like she's like very much like denying that feeling. Like maybe it like is right behind her teeth. Like yeah, it's creepy. It's very creepy.
Okay, so he takes a seat and he kind of is sort of nervously like picks a piece of paper and just sort of starts tearing it a little bit. I guess I came here because I don't really know who else to go to. My daughter is missing, sort of.
Daughter, yes, and this clipboard is materialized out of nowhere, and you know, there's a very fancy looking quill pen that I'm like taking notes with now. Daughter missing, yes. Your name was?
Oh, sorry. Yes, my name is Arun Fairman.
Arun Fairman. Perfect.
My daughter's name is Eloisa. She's Well, she's been missing for about a week.
A week.
Have you reported this to the more mundane police force?
Lilith.
Whoa, hold on. I saunter in at this point.
Okay.
Here is someone talking smack.
They do a fantastic job for this city, I'll have you know.
Oh, you work here. Sorry.
Work's a light term, yeah.
Slamming open the door. Powdered
A bit
sugar.
of a step back. Like, how well do you and I know each other? Because we kind of do a similar job, like detectiving. Like, are we antagonistic? Do we work together?
I think I definitely know about you. I've seen your work, and I respect your work. I think that's about it at the moment. But I definitely work alone since being undead.
Yeah.
And this whole situation, I'm like, having to work with people. Don't want to see me go limp.
I can understand that. I feel like it's a similar thing for Manasa, where she usually works alone because anything that breathes can be considered prey. But because you're dead, like, she doesn't get that sense from you, so she's kind of more comfortable around you than she would be around like a living person.
I'm totally fine with snake people that have cravings to eat people. That's totally fine.
Yeah,
Except for
good.
not dead people.
I'm okay with that.
Great.
Yeah.
At your interruption about the mundane police force, I'm glaring like you've interrupted the flow of this form. You know, like.
Whatever shall we do, Lilith? What can happen?
Over to the.
You just have to start from the beginning.
You just tears it up, rips it, throws it into the air.
Does it burst into flames?
Yeah, it does.
behind
Just
you?
behind her, just into flames.
There we
And you
go.
hear,
So
like,
much better.
The scream of the damned just sort of like,
See, you don't know everything about this. Fine, I'll start over. And like walks back to get a paper from the desk and attach it to the clipboard. Like
I'm
not
sorry,
being
it's not-
nearly as magical.
it's no time.
No, people just don't know when to step back.
Yeah, Manasa, come on, step back. Away from this gentleman.
I was left in
Space.
charge. I was left in charge of this particular assignment, and I will take down every important piece of detailed information before we move into the part where all of you go out and look for things and what have you. Yeah, sorry, I got what we had. Yes, mundane police force. Assume that you've contacted them.
Well, that's the problem. See, my daughter's not technically missing in the physical sense.
Oh. More of a spiritual mishap then?
I don't really know how to describe it. Honestly, she's a completely different person now.
I've heard that's common with teenagers.
No.
He just sort of sighs and like slumps a little bit, and you get this sense of like defeat. Like he's that's what everyone keeps telling me, but I know my daughter. I know it's not her.
Yes, well, with a couple of questions, I'm sure we can determine exactly what is going on. Though we will have to talk to her, or what is her now, currently, to find old her and bring her back, or
I mean,
from.
I
Don't know the details yet.
So, well, I'll tell you what I know, which is about a week ago, she stopped getting in trouble at school, which I recognize most parents would think that this is a wonderful thing and a gift, and their child has changed who they are. But my daughter was always kind of quiet and alone, and also a troublemaker, and her teachers really hated. And I would get called into school almost every day, but I haven't in an entire week. And I contacted all of her teachers, and they're singing her praises. They're saying she is the best student in their class, and that's not who she is. I know who my daughter is, and that's not her.
Well, you would know better than any of us, certainly. And if you've had enough motivation to find this place, then
Took a lot of Google searching.
Seems to reason. We have a very poor online presence. I'm not very good with computers.
Your search engine optimization is terrible.
Yeah, there's like shelves of these old books, but there's like a dusty computer from 1991, like in the corner.
Still green text.
Yeah, not very good with computers. But
I love my daughter for who she is, which is not perfect and troubled and all of the pieces that make her a complicated human. But I want her back.
Manasa, you are still working for us, right? You're a little angry over there. Just want to make sure that I'm not assigning you work that could potentially not be under the appropriate paperwork.
I do the work I'm contracted to do.
Ah, so a contract is required. Very well.
Oh, I'll be careful with that one.
In that moment, you guys just hear a sound that you're moderately used to in this building, like the thump, 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 thump of something very large running across the ceiling and then running back, and then silence.
Yes. Okay, fine. Contract. Let's get back to that.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
Annoyed about inadequate pay. Yes. That was the.
Is that your purview now too?
No, but I can speak to you on behalf of the organization about it. And if I... Tell you what, let's speed this along. I'd rather not have to sit here and wait while this person's daughter is in jeopardy. So let's make this quick. Do this work for Sphynx and Satyr, not for yourself, and I will make sure that you receive adequate pay as per the same hours as our dear Hector Frost here. And she extends her hand.
And I like look at your hand and I look at Frost and I say adequate pay. What would you consider adequate, dead man?
I'm thinking Frosty Snakes is a really nice detective name that we could just assemble with good pay and fair trades and no binding contracts, you know?
Look at that. We have our first client. And
Hear the
what's your name?
Come into the
Over
room.
there. This
Are you
one.
trying to undercut us today? Again, Manasa.
I would never do something that's slippery. And she there's this like little like joking sort of like.
It's a small like from Lilith, like wordplay. Nice.
I'm nodding.
I spoke with Dr. Gasa. We will pay the extra hours.
Overtime. Nice.
Whatever it takes to get the job done.
But you're also welcome to
You
start
won't
your
be
own
needing us.
organization and without the protection of our agency.
You know, now that I think about it, I'm not willing to put in that much effort. I'll work for you.
Also, life insurance doesn't really do it for me, if I'm honest.
Pay and benefits.
Sidelong glance over at Aris, wondering what our Cyclops friend is doing.
Yeah, I've just
at
been
this
filling
juncture.
out these papers this
Just-
entire time. There's a lot of forms. You like look over and
So many.
there's one
Do
sheet
you have
that's
like
just
glasses? That
yeah,
are, like,
yeah.
one-
No, I've just got one monocle, one giant monocle.
Well, it sounds like you've taken care of organizing this gentleman, collecting the information from this gentleman. We will take the job. Assuming the four of you are interested. We have no one else here right now, so you are first on the docket.
Yes, go and retrieve the appropriate information, just as she said. Lilith says, as if she's not going to have to do that as well, standing sort of nearer to our Satyr friend than to the group.
The Satyr, Miss Holly, just sort of like looks at Lilith, and she's like, "You do realize that Eris is shadowing you this week."
Oh.
I pick my head up from the paper and do a jovial wave.
Eris, I have a first job for you. You're going to be shadowing Lilith on this exposition.
Miss Holly, is this in... Is this a direct request as per our contract together?
Are you tiny,
Our
Lilith, by the
longest-standing
way?
employee.
Are you short?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably like 5'2" or something.
All right. I think when you say like he'll be joining you or whatever, Eris stands up, probably around 7 feet tall or something like that.
Oh, he's a big fella.
Yeah,
Look at him.
he's big. And he goes to put out his hand towards you, but depth perception is an issue, so he just punches you. But it's like a soft punch. He just like nudges. He's like, oh, apologize for that. And
Yeah, like she stumbles a little bit, like, fine, it's fine. I've been through worse. And yes, it will be a pleasure to go out in the field.
Oh, it just lovely.
It's all of you.
And
yeah, I mean, you. I think Hector would be really aware that like Lilith never does this. Like,
Yeah, I am
ever.
loving this.
Yeah.
Great.
And there's I think Manasso was like turned away from where Eris was sitting, and when you like stand up and like accidentally like punch Lilith, she like stands up too and turns around so that her head is facing away from the client, and like she does this thing where she like rises up a little bit on her tail, so like her skirt like unbunches, and she gets taller like to the point where she's almost looking you in the eyes, and then like her tongue like just like teases out of her mouth a little bit to like taste the air and like get like a feel for what you are. And she says like, I for one hope we don't have need of your particular talents on this mission, but good to have you anyway. And then she like settles back down a little bit to be shorter and like turns around.
yeah, it's good to be here. I'm happy to be. But I filled all those papers out. I left them on the desk. Where do we get started? And I kind of put my hands on, crack my knuckles.
Miss Holly, the satyr, she goes and collects the paperwork. You've done excellent. And heads over to her very like large desk, which it's horribly unkempt. It's like half of the living room, and sort of shoves them in a drawer.
Miss Holly, are you sure you wouldn't rather have me deal with the paperwork there?
Oh no, you probably don't want to be in the building for the next little bit. Dr. Gatto is having a moment. There's more thumping upstairs.
Oh,
She's
on second thought, yes, field work, certainly.
going over the overtime contracts, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. You will get paid your usual bonus overtime rate for this particular job.
Now, remember my evening rates. I get a bit cranky past 10 p.m. And if we're swinging into midnight and beyond, just saying.
There will be the appropriate bonuses provided for work that may be instituting more bodily harm than you would like.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to put old Monovision up there in the way, but I appreciate the gesture.
And you also note that we will ensure that we're providing you your healthcare services. We've found a better provider for you.
Excellent.
He specializes in reanimated individuals.
Was it Hades?
Very niche.
I told
Very
you to call
niche.
Hades.
We decided not to go with Hades. That got complicated.
Fair enough.
Gatto and do not get along.
Well, I'm more than happy to leave this dusty old place. And
Yes,
I saunter outside.
sir. Perhaps we could speak to your daughter, or find out what exactly is going awry some other way.
She would, right now, probably, he's just sort of been watching this entire, like, ping-pong exchange of, like, contract and, like, workplace negotiations. Like, I don't know what I stepped into. She would probably be at school right now. Well, she should be. I mean, normally I would say she might not actually be, but she should probably is. She goes to Northridge High School.
Would you call the school and have them remove your daughter from her classes? I don't know that I would like to be surrounded by children.
That seems like a good. Yes, I can do that. I can let them know that her, and he sort of looks at the three of you and eventually settles on Hector, who looks the most human. Her uncle is coming to pick her up for a doctor's appointment.
Right. Perfect. Oh, wait,
yeah.
I'm the uncle.
Yeah.
I don't do the uncle vibe so well, but I'll try.
It's fine. Yeah, just the rest of
I assure you, sir, we are very adept at keeping a low profile with the mortals in the area.
Yes. Okay. So I'll do that now. And he sort of writes down the address of the high school to let you know where it is. And then gets on the phone and is like, yes, her uncle is going to be coming to pick her up for a doctor's appointment. If you could make sure she's not in class, and the school will agree on their end.
And I definitely ask for like a photo of her, so that we like know who we're picking up more than just a name, so we don't get like the wrong person or whatever.
He sends you, I mean, if any of you have sort of email communication, he'll send you a couple of pictures, and then he like pulls out one like worn picture from his wallet. It's like,
Aww.
It's a little bit younger than her right now. It's before she became so troubled. I don't think the divorce went well for her. So here's my number as well, if you need anything from me. And then Miss Holly will have him stay behind and negotiate their end of things. And then she sort of looks at all of you, gestures. Carry on. Go. Do your work.
Very well. Let's head. Where are we going, Hector?
I don't own a car, and I think as an uncle, I'm trying to, adopt this persona now. And I really feel like I would pull up in a car, but driving hasn't been my forte since being undead.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a license when you basically have narcolepsy.
It's very true. Maybe I could just saunter up. You guys need to maybe stay behind because, snakes and demons and cyclops.
Lilith folds her arms and goes, I assure you, no one will notice my presence at all, and pulls this black cowl like over her head as if it solves anything.
Yes.
Make you sneaky.
Inconspicuous.
I think that Lilith, sorry, not Lilith. I think that Manasa, to do her job, I think that she has, I don't think that her tail makes for good driving, but I think that she knows someone who, will, drive her. Or, I mean, does Eris have a car or a van or something?
Public bus.
Maybe look over at me when everyone's trying to figure out who's going to drive him. Hello?
Oh, the eye.
Hello?
And so she's like, that would make it troublesome, and pulls out a phone and looks through her contact list for various
Supernatural Uber.
Yeah, basically.
And Lilith is doing the same thing, but it's on a scroll where the words are just changing.
That's not
the scroll.
She's scrolling the scroll.
Yeah.
Manasa, can I take a look at this photo, if you don't mind?
Yeah, and he probably text messaged it to her or whatever. So she hands you her phone.
Yeah. Does Hector have a Nokia 2210? Is that his?
Yeah, there's a crack on the screen and all that stuff, and it's very old school. The classic Nokia ringtone, everything like that. Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm taking it, get tiny little specs out. It's like, oh yeah, got it right. Makes sense. I don't really look like her. Is that a problem?
He's in the middle of filling out paper. I mean, uncles don't always look like they're...
You're right. I'm overthinking. I feel like more of a granddad, though,
Well,
It's
we
not
can't,
your
we can't.
job,
I don't-
Hector.
Look, it's not going to be a big deal, Hector, all right? You just go in there, just say you're the uncle, grab the kid, and we walk out.
All right. Fine. We'll go
in
easy
the
route.
meantime, I've definitely called someone.
You're all in this circle bickering about it.
Yeah, I've called someone who's around here because I'm probably here a lot. Who has a car, a van or something? One of those horrible vans that doesn't have any windows.
Oh yeah.
Very very good
Gotcha.
for stakeouts. Yeah.
This Ford van pulls up. It is white in the sense that it is now covered in dirt and grime. There's someone has scratched clean me in it. It's actually got on one side, it's just got a spray painted unicorn, a Pegasus unicorn.
Yeah.
But with a dark moon behind it and clouds. It's a dark
And
evil.
that's new. That's clean, and the other side is still dirty.
Sweet van art.
Some very intense van art. And then underneath it's yeah, they're the Pega services.
And there's definitely definitely has like a ramp that I can like, get up instead of just trying to like step up. I mean, I could, but it's easier if there's a ramp.
Yeah. So the driver's side door opens. Or actually, you hear the sound of honking, like as they're clearly impatiently waiting for you to come out. The driver's side door will open, and this sort of what creature would he? What's a good driver creature?
Gotta have
Goblin.
legs.
Goblin.
Yes.
Goblin best driver.
Yeah, goblin would be pretty good.
Driver.
Gotta use like stilted shoes to reach the pedals.
Or no, it's two goblins. There's one doing the boss.
Oh my god, there's
Goblins.
two of them. Yeah.
There's one goblin that's just sitting on the floor of the van, and then the other one like hops off of the driver's seat and like opens. We're waiting for you.
All right.
Goblins. Great. Wonderful. Are
Oh,
they going to let me drive?
They can drive better than you.
Oh, that's debatable. We haven't seen them in action yet. I'll go in the passenger seat at the front if you don't mind. And you guys can take the back.
Okay, get in.
Yeah, just move the seat up a bit. All right, it's gonna be a little.
Back. There's no seats in the back.
Yeah.
It's
Just a van.
no less. It's the sort of van you would trap children.
Maybe
in.
I say like, make sure you move the seat up, and then I open the door. And, never mind. I just kind of like roll in.
Like the three of you are somewhat cramped in the back between the giant cyclops and the very large naga tail.
Yes.
I just imagine this just in transit scene of like the doors closed. I'm sitting there with this black hood over my head and this scroll in one hand and like fire to read by in the other one, like grumbling. Just
Perfect. I think we could take our first break there. That's a good stopping point
Okay.
as we
Cool.
traverse
In the
to
van.
the school with Uncle Hector.
And you're van totally.
Yeah.
Monkey
terrifying.
Frost.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna take our first break. Still got 3 hours left to go. Duncan Air will be right back with more. We'll see you after the break.